Hi everyone, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a builder gel video. I wanted to do these 4 nails on camera. I did my thumb off camera, but I wanted to show you guys how I do my process. These are the things that I'm going to be using. Everything's from Triple D except the actual builder gel. I'm going to use Soul Dips today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take an alcohol pad and I'm going to go ahead and clean the surface of my nail. Once that is completely dry, I'm going to take my Ultra Bond from Triple D and I'm going to go ahead and put that on all 4 of my nails. Now, I'm only going to take as much as it's going to just basically cover or coat my nail. I'm not going to like over flutter or anything like that. As you can see, it goes on wet, but it does dry. And I'll show you guys how it looks like in a little bit when it looks like dry. Once it is that kind of like tackiness is kind of gone or the shininess is kind of gone, that's when you're ready to go ahead and move on to your gel base. So this is how it looks like right when it's about to be ready for the gel base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Triple D gel base. I'm going to go ahead and add it to my first 2 nails, which is my pointer and my middle, and then I'll do the other 2 separate. I have my LED lamp right here ready to go on the side. Now I like to do 2 nails at a time just because I wanted to make sure the application is as perfect as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a light coat of the gel base and I'm going to make sure that I am going as close as possible to the sidewalls and the cuticle area, as well as the like the free edge of my nail. And I'm going to do that for my middle finger as well, and then I'm going to go ahead and cure, and then we'll do the other 2 separate. For the gel base, you want to make sure that you're getting a good amount on your brush to where it's not over flooding the cuticles. If it does end up touching your cuticles or your sidewalls or anything, or you end up over flooding, you could go ahead and just take the brush and remove the excess. There's also a tool, which I'll show you guys in a minute, that will help with the excess gel like around your sidewalls and stuff. So right here, I just actually flipped my hand over because I wanted to make sure that I did get as close as possible to my sidewalls and my cuticle area. Again, without touching it completely because I didn't want any lifting. So after I did the middle finger, I'm going to go ahead and then cure for a full 60 seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the builder gel. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my other 2 fingers. Again, I like to work with 2 fingers at a time. That's just the way I like to do it. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch, and then I'll pop back in a minute. Okay, so when I'm working with builder gel, I like to work with a little bit like a small bead at a time. And I do have short nails right now, so it's actually a little bit easier for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small bead, and then I'm going to go ahead and kind of like paint it onto my nail, kind of like I did my gel base. I'm sorry. Yeah, my gel base. So I'm just making sure that it is all the way super close to my sidewalls and my cuticle area, and it's really even. Now this builder gel is self-leveling, so it ends up doing most of the work for you. So this is the actual cuticle tool that I was talking about earlier. Triple D sells a double-ended one where one is like for like your dips, and then this one is for gels. This is a silicone tip, so what it does is it helps you remove all the excess off of like your skin. Right here, I'm actually turning over my finger to help build that small apex I was talking about. And then I'm going to take another small bead and just move in into my middle finger and just basically repeat the process. I'm going to do a full cure for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to go ahead and go in with my second coat of builder gel. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so right here I'm going in with my second layer. So I took another small bead. I'm going to start from my cuticle area this time. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to actually build a small apex. So it looks like I'm painting it over, but I'm actually kind of floating or dragging the product a little bit because I also want to use the tip of the brush to kind of move the gel around. Because again, we're trying to build an apex. Even though you have short nails, you can still build a small apex. So this is right here. If you can tell, I took the product and I literally laid it down onto my nail. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with my middle finger as well. I'm going to go ahead and flip my hand over once again to let gravity do the work for me to build that apex. And then I'm going to do a full cure for 60 seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the other two fingers. Okay, so now that the builder gel is laid on the first two fingers, we're going to go ahead and move on to the other two fingers. And what we're doing right here is we're putting down a gel base. Again, this is a Triple D gel base. We're going to do a full cure of 60 seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and grab another small bead. And we are going to go ahead and go in with our first layer for our ring finger. And by the way, you guys, if you were wondering, the brush that I'm using is also from Triple D. She had them in a pack of 3 for like traveling brushes. I'm not sure if they're still available on the website, but you are able to use any type of gel brush that you have on hand. I recommend one that is more square tipped, just because it's easier to drag the product on the tip of your brush. A rounder one, you could get closer to the cuticle, but I just find it easier for like a square tip type of brush. Now right here, you guys, I'm actually kind of touching my nail but also floating the product down. I'm not putting a lot of pressure by moving the product, and this is what I meant earlier by kind of like using the tip of your brush. I also wanted to mention, you guys, that when you do a cure for 60 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever it is, you want to make sure that you always move your builder gel away from the light, preferably behind it, because you know that's not gonna touch light by any means. And this goes for your brushes as well, like your gel brushes. Basically anything that touches the gel, or if the gel pod is open, make sure that you move it away from the light so it doesn't cure it or harden it. All right, now that we're done with our full 60-second cure on the last two, what we're going to do is I'm going to take a little pad with some alcohol on it, and I'm going to go ahead and wipe the tacky layer off of my nail, because now we're going to go ahead and get ready to file and buff. Now, I like to use a 100-180 grit type of file, and I like to use the softer side of the file to do my nails. So right here, they were pretty much shaped before I added the builder gel, but it does add a little bit of bulk on the side sometimes. So I am taking down the bulk, and I'm making sure that the free edge is also super straight, because I like mine's really straight and kind of like crisp at the end. So I'm gonna, like, again, take the soft end to all of my nails on all the sidewalls and all the free edge. Then I'm gonna take my buffer, which is also 100-180 grit, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that that is basically making it smooth on the sidewalls, because sometimes the sidewalls can get a little bit bulky. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys watch, and then I'll pop back in a minute. So you guys, really quick, when I do the buffing part of it, I do go around my cuticle area first and around the like sides of my nails and the front of my nails and then in the middle of my nail. And that's just to make sure that I'm not filing down the apex that I built too much, because you don't want to like file off all the work that you just done. All the layers that we did were pretty thin. We only did 2 layers of builder gel. I only did 2 layers today because my nails are pretty short and I don't need that much builder gel on top of them. But this is just like for a heads up, if you have like longer nails, anything like that, you just don't want to file and buff the apex off too much. Once you're file and buffed, I like to take a little manicure brush or like a hard bristle brush and just dust off all the excess just to see how it looks like, to see if I need to do anything else. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other 2 fingers, and I am going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. But again, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch and then I'll pop back in. Also, you guys, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the little finger rest that I'm using is from Controlled Chaos, and it's called the Resting Chaos, and she actually sells them in pairs. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up because I don't think I mentioned that earlier. All right, now that everything is dusted, we're gonna go ahead and take a new lint-free wipe with some alcohol on it, and we're gonna go ahead and cleanse the nail all over again, because now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our gel top coat. Like we did our gel base, we're going to go ahead and make sure that our gel top coat layer is completely even with no air bubbles, no lint, and anything like that. You want to make sure it's close as possible to your cuticle areas as well as your sidewalls. And you also want to make sure that you cap your free edges. This is very important because you can get lifting right at the front of your nail, not only at the cuticle area. So this is why you want to cap your edges to make sure that the free edge is not going to lift. So right here, I'm only going to do a cure for 30 seconds because I will be doing a full cure after I do my other 2 nails. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch the rest of the application and then I'll be right back. All right, you guys, and this is how it looks like right out of the lamp. Right here, I would then put cuticle oil on my cuticles, but I'm actually going to go ahead and do my other hand off camera. But don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.